Well, good morning. I'm Marge Pearson. I'm your host today. Hey. Anyway, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living-Tacoma, to those in person and those online. I hope everybody got to experience a little bit of the rain that we felt this week. It sure made the air feel clear for about a half an hour. It was absolutely lovely. So our host musician today includes Terry O'Hara on piano and Benny Yangco on the clarinet. And our special guest musician is Peter Kirkland. And our audiovisual team is Erik Perrohe and Ronald up in the back. And our practitioners today are Bev Holland on platform and Suzanne Frazier holding high watch or consciousness in the back. And today's message is going to be given by Reverend Drew Ebersole, our senior minister. So, if you're here for the first time today, we're glad you've chosen to visit us and would like to acknowledge your being here. So we are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community, and that is the truth. If you're new today and are comfortable raising your hand, please do so we can welcome you. All right. Nice. So, we have a music festival coming up, and Reverend Drew will talk a little bit more about that here shortly. We talk about prayer here at CSL, and we teach and practice a 5-step affirmative prayer that truly works. To experience it, join us after the service in the prayer room at the back. To learn how to manifest for yourself, consider joining a class called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment that starts on Monday, September 11th. If you're interested, talk to one of the practitioners after the service today. So let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living-Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a set of values, practices, and principles. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you to bring your dreams to life. We do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual principles, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. And now it's time for the minister's moment with Reverend Drew. Thank you.
Thank you, Marge. She does a great job. And the host's job here is to really be a person that you can connect with if you're new. Go see her, as you will any of our members, and find out what we're about. Marge knows better than anyone. She served on the board, and she's a lovely person. So we just have a lot of love and respect for you. Thank you, Marge. Good morning. For those who don't know, I'm Reverend Drew Ebersole, and I'm here to say a few important things that are going to engage us and keep us moving forward. Look at how we're growing. Look at how we're feeling today. That's real. I just love it. I love how real it is, what we can create with our thinking. And that's what the sermon's going to be about today, is really using affirmative prayer or treatment or manifestation. It doesn't matter what you call it. Creative thinking, it's all the same thing. It's putting your thought into action to create your world. Simple, right? First I wanted to see if Sue might come up for a second. Yesterday was the Hilltop Street Fair, and she wanted to share a thought or two about what it was like and the experience and how we reached out to the community. So welcome, Sue. Remember Sue last time from last week, how wonderful she was?
I'm speaking in place of Justin, who's not here probably because he was at the street fair from early in the morning until late in the evening getting it all organized, and he got a group of volunteers together. We had a booth at the street fair. We handed out affirmations, which people really appreciated. We talked to them about the center. We had a bubble machine, and and Justin even brought a generator and the popcorn machine and made popcorn. And I just wanted to tell you what he did that was so cool is that when he gave away the free popcorn, he would ask people to say, I am, and then fill in the blank with a positive word. And it was so much fun to watch the kids and the adults think about this and come up with their word and then proudly say, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am helpful, I am kind. So I just thought that was a brilliant idea. And would everybody who volunteered yesterday stand up so we can acknowledge you? So I just look forward to more events like this, and it's just so soul-filling to volunteer, so come on out.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Member-driven, member-owned, member-loved. That's who we all are, right? That's what this is about. It's like a co-op of love. I'm just saying, I love it. I also want to say that after service, Vicki Simone's, the incomparable Vicki, can you stand up for a second just to be recognized? She's our volunteer coordinator. And I will be hosting our first Youth and Family Ministries gathering for all the volunteers and all the people that want to come and be part of it. We are on fire, and it's happening. We are getting national people that are joining us. We're getting recognition of what we're going to do, and this place is going to be thriving with children in no time. And that's good for us all. That's the future, and that's the beautiful part of what we are. So it's right after service, probably start around 11:45, noonish, as soon as we can, and we'll get it going. So thank you, Vicki, for all your hard work. Really appreciate it. So I want to talk about kind of the beautiful music and festival we've come about, Joyfull Noice. So it's a brainchild of us all as a way to reach out and include community. We saw Justin do a great job. We saw Sue do a great job. All the volunteers did a great job with that. This is a way to really bring them in, magnetize them. So I'd like you to do something for you for a second. Think about how this center has changed your life. Think about how it may have saved your life. Think about the joy it brings to you and everyone that it touches. And then consider that this festival is a way to easily invite people into that world. Because you being that is changing the world. And we all deserve that. And there may be someone out there that you ask about a ticket that's not selling a ticket to an event. It's not just saying, hey, come to a fundraiser. It's an invitation for them to experience a spiritual awakening. So it's our duty, it's our responsibility as good beings on this planet to extend that to other people, to give them a chance to rise up in their own lives and become beings of light. So in your program are flyers with the tickets. Ask fearlessly, boldly, lovingly, knowing it's for the greater good. If we all feel that, if we all bring a handful of people, this place will be packed. And that will resonate as a beacon of light throughout our world. So seriously, consider what you're doing, consider how to do it. Now's the time, it's coming in less than 3 weeks. So we want to put the pedal to the metal. We're going to have food and wine. Tickets are reasonable. It's going to be full of joy. And we're going to share the message of who we are lightly, gently, tenderly, but an invitation to people. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, here, here. So it is. Motion carried. All right. All right, so I just want you to think about, and if anyone has an idea of a sponsorship, anyone wants to sponsor, I know that several of us are sponsoring, and we're upholding this event to be as beneficial and bountiful as possible. With this is a launching pad, not just to reach out to the community, but to do all the programs like Youth Family Ministry, to reach out to compassionate care. Everything we want to do is fueled by that outreach, so consider it, very much so. I want to also just recognize one more time Ty and Sue for last week, and they're speaking and sharing their stories. They did a beautiful job, so thank you both. And I want to read some gratitudes, because this week's gratitudes were pretty cool. Oneness, music, fresh-picked blackberries, laughter and love, optimism, and uplifting Facebook posts. The woman who stopped to give me an encouraging word. Isn't that cool? The gift of music again. Reverend Drew, Meditation Thursdays. The sun, spiritual and financial wealth and ease. Yes. Hootin' and hollerin', spittin' and swearin' with good friends. Yeah. Ethel gave a thumbs up to that one. She likes that. Raising my sails to explore uncharted spiritual and emotional territories. Sunny days, warm nights. Seeing the star Vega in the night sky. Orange clouds at sunset. The presence of love in my life. Family and friends. The beauty that surrounds me every moment. Being a part of something meaningful. The feeling of belonging at CSL. Don't we all feel that? Let's just take 2 seconds and reach out, pat your neighbor on the back and say, you belong, welcome. Great. All right, and as we like to do, come back and take a deep breath right now and recognize how that just made you feel. That's real. That's real. I love it. And says, I am grateful for this, my home. Thank you very much.
How about those thank yous, those gratitudes? Fantastic. This morning, I'd like to invite you to close your outer eyes as we open the service. It's already open. It's already open. We're all here. We're all talking. We're all thinking. We're all growing in our own skin. And so right here and right now, I'm just grateful for this entire group of wonderful people with common interests, common beliefs, making a difference in our world in so many ways. The people here that are sitting here, the people that are not here today, those who are watching online, all of us make a difference in this world. And when we are together in that, when we are moving together in the same direction, it is amazing what we can do. And when I think of that, it just gives me God bumps or goosebumps or whatever you want to call them. So I'm grateful today. And I allow this time to just be here, to just be. And take a deep breath and just know that air that we breathe is clean, it is blue sky, it is white clouds, it is the beauty of our earth and the beauty of our people everywhere. Everyone has that same God center, that same spirit at their core. I'm so grateful knowing these truths. And so I release it into the universal law, where I know it is done, and it is so, and so it is.
Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the Spirit runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no hesitation and the truth is always seen, honoring all our differences, and love will set you free. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God. There's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul. Well, it's time to requalify. Forget about the past. Forget your love and love to forget. God knows we gotta try. Well, there's no hesitation, and the light is all we see. Honoring all our differences, and love will set you free. Sing a song. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Whoa, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul.
Now, I was going to do a reading, but I forgot one important thing. Joyfull Noice is not only for us as a beacon of the community to spread light and love, and everyone can go on this journey with us together, but it's also killer music. I almost said kick butt music. Only I didn't almost say butt, I almost said something else. So I'm censoring it for our audiences at home. It's going to be killer. And we have several of our musicians today, including Peter Kirkland, Benny Yangco, Perrohe, and the amazing Pete, the drummer of Magic Sticks. So that's just a taste of what we're going to feel. So get everyone, let's do it together. It's going to be awesome. Now we're reading.
You see what I mean? How do you beat that? This is from a daily reading in the 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I believe that the perfect law of spirit is operating in, for, and through me always. I have complete confidence in my knowledge and understanding of the law of good. Using the law daily, I experience definite results. Today I believe in divine guidance. Today I rest in the divine assurance that all is well with my soul, my spirit, and my mind.
Bound a will to keep going when the road gets hard and everything's dark and the world is kind of crazy. I encourage myself to hold on, and I won't let go. Oh no, I won't let go. I found the grace so amazing, and every morning I see it's following me, even when my world is crazy. So I encourage myself to hold on, and I won't let go. Oh no, I won't let go. Holding on is never easy. It takes the strength and the courage from above. And the Lord, oh, gives me power to make it. In His might, in His name, we can still be still. I found love. Will keep going when the world is hard and everything's dark and the world is crazy. I encourage myself to hold on. You amazing. I'll hold on through the storm, through the rain. I keep reaching for the hand. I keep reaching for the hand. Well, I made up my mind to hold on, hold on. Ooh, I keep holding on, I keep holding on to the righteous dream, holding on, I keep holding on to the righteous dream, because it reaches me, reaches me, reaches me anywhere I am. And I made up my mind to hold on, and I won't let go. Oh no, I won't let go.
Yeah. Wow. I feel churched, as they used to say, which is beautiful. He knows that term. All right, all right, all right. Good morning again. Good morning. Wow. We're going to be talking about something really important to our movement, which is called spiritual mind treatment. And I have the title, call it what you want. It works. It doesn't matter what you call it. And that's something I really want to state here for all of us, is that semantics is just that. Say God if you want to say God. Say Spirit if you want to say Spirit. Say universe if you want to say universe. Say humanity if you want to say humanity. Say Buddha. Say Allah. Say whatever works for you. Doesn't matter. It's just that it works for you. And you bring what works for you here so that it works for our world. And it works for all of us to thrive in harmony. Works for the world doesn't mean working for or against the world. It means we all work together as one in the world. That's the concept. So say whatever you want to say about it. It's just a golden thread. The golden thread of who we are and want to be, which is love incarnate this moment. That's how we show up. When we show up like that, we can't do wrong. We can only do our best, and our best is the highest good for all of us. So today we're going to be talking about how to focus that in a really cool technology called treatment. You can call it manifestation, you can call it creative thinking, doesn't matter. Just using it is the point. So I want you to do something for me for a second. I want you to reach out and just touch your chair for a minute. Just touch your chair. Now touch your clothing for a second, right? Look around at this building for a second. Think of our society we've created, every book that's ever been written, every rocket ship that's taken off to the moon, the wheel, the computer, everything. And what does it have in common? It began with a thought. Thought is the genesis of all creation. It's the genesis of your entire experience on this planet. This whole universe essentially was thought first. It was an idea that exploded out into countless stars and areas and evolved and grew. But it was thinking, essentially, that made it happen. Music, the music we heard today, all thought first. So, if we believe, which we do, that we are one with that universe, because we are the stardust, we are the stuff of the universe, then we can employ that same technology in our lives to create a beautiful world. Our thinking creates our world, full stop. That's the way it is. And we have two choices here. One is I can harness that creative power to think what I want and begin to utilize it to form what I want, or I can unwittingly become kind of a complacent victim of the media and other things around me that tell me what I should think a lot, influencing me to think about things. And what happens then is I have given away my power. I am going to feel bad at times in this life. I'm going to feel unsure and scared. I'm going to feel uncertain. But I don't have to let that be part of my creative thought process. I can acknowledge it, heal it. There's a healing going on right now, and begin to release it, let it go, and begin to consciously choose what I want to create. I worked with a business a while ago, and that was struggling. And we were going to talk about strategic planning, and we were going to talk about tactics to utilize for them. They just couldn't make it. There were two partners. They were barely making their own payroll. They were struggling week to week. They couldn't manage their money well. And I started with them re-coaching, my partner and I, Sherry, who's a wonderful business partner. We started coaching with them around their thinking first. And what we got to was they were thinking in lack of limitation, which is very sneaky. It comes up like this. Oh, I can't do that. I'll never have that. Oh, that's too scary. That's too big. I don't deserve it. What does it look like? I don't think I can. All those are limited thoughts for you. Can you feel them? Sure. Okay, but that's not your reality. And so we formulated a plan where they had a prayer, a treatment for abundance. In 3 months, they got back to normal of their previous quota. In 6 months, they doubled it. And today, they've manifested 10 times the amount of money for their company. And they have eight employees. That's 6, that's 8. I can count. I did pass math, although my wife is the math teacher and she corrects me often. So, 8 employees, and they are thriving, and they are doing better than ever. And their person constantly says it was that mind thought process first that allowed that to unfold. Of course, they did the work behind it. You have to do both. We call it treat and move your feet. Treatment means I'm going to say what I want and move toward it, and move my feet means I'm going to march in that direction. And it works. It works beautifully. So we know that this process is real. It's not even like a question. Well, does it work? It works. The center of the universe is within your own mind right now. Therefore, you can create anything you want. And we don't have to act like we want to, do everything tomorrow and today. And just relax. We become very goal-oriented. I have to do this right now. Just step into the process. The process is the goal. Learning how that works is really part of the joy of seeing it unfold. So when we talk about why that's so important, we know that there's a process that is part of our symbol. Where is our symbol? Oh, there, the V. See the V? There's one in the back too, if you can't see that one. The V talks about what this whole process is about, which means that there's an unseen, it's felt, unseen kind of spiritual connection between all of us, and that's the top layer. That's what some people call God, spirit, universe, whatever. I guess words are just your choice. And the V signifies that thought moves through what the center of the V is, which is called the creative medium. And that creative medium is a non-judgmental, absolutely reflective system that says whatever you think and feel, that's how it shall be done. You just said it's done to you as you believe, right? And those are great words to live by. It's done unto you as you believe. That medium is non-judgmental and doesn't say good or bad. It just gives you what you're thinking. Whatever it is, it just reflects it back. And the bottom of the V, right there, is our life, our manifest life, the soil. If you want to look at it this way, it's a seed at the top, it's a soil in the middle, and it's a plant that flourishes at the bottom. That's what manifestation is. And then the V back up is us giving joy for this process. All the joy you're feeling today goes right back into the one and out into the universe and cycles back around. Energy to matter, matter to energy, same thing. That's what's happening here. That's what we're experiencing. That's what our life is. So prayer says, I'm going to consciously think about how to plant that seed from this origin of thought, the unseen that's in me, into the creative medium and watch it blossom. And there are 5 steps. And I want to also encourage you to talk to our practitioners. I know we have 2 of them here today. Suzanne's holding High Watch. And by the way, High Watch is just someone sitting in the back meditating for all of us to spread that joy, spread that feeling of consciousness, holding clarity for us. That's why you see someone back there with their eyes closed. They're not sleeping, and they're not just hanging out. They're doing something very consciously. And Suzanne's really spreading that energy right now, which really works. And Bev and our other practitioners, see them. They'll be in that room afterwards. Find out about this technology because you can use it. We want everyone here and at home to be able to utilize it. Okay? So practitioners are real and they really know this stuff. They've studied it for years. We all do. Come see us. Talk to us about it. So the first step is called recognition. Why is it called that? Because we're recognizing that we're all one. It feels very separate sometimes being a human being, doesn't it? We can feel very scared and alone. Like, who cares and who knows? And am I by myself? And maybe I connect with someone, but I often don't feel that. That's an illusion. We are points of light and experience within that one. Always, always, always. Take a deep breath. You're always held in love in the one. That's a reality. So you recognize that first. 2 is called unification, meaning I say, okay, I am one with that, and therefore I have the same capabilities that it has, that we have all together. That's my superpower. I can utilize this technology. And then 3 is called realization. I mean, I'm going to say exactly what I want to see happen in my life. And then the 4th is very important. It's gratitude. It's giving thanks. Because only from that recognition of thanks can it ever come to fruition. And the 5th is let it go, release. I'm going to trust. So if we do seed, soil, plant, it's like this. I have a seed of thought. I want to see this happen. And I think, I am one with it. It is true. It'll come back to me, and I plant that seed. I cover it up. I water it gently and let it go. And what I do every day, I don't come back and dig it up to see what's growing, right? I don't fret over it like it's not going to grow. I just nurture it. I feed it. I look at it. When it blossoms, I go, oh, yay. There it is. And I watch it and I enjoy the process and I give thanks every day and I talk to it. I say, well done. Everybody knows that talking to plants helps them grow, right? Did you do that 6th grade science experiment where the one person talked to their plants and the control group, they didn't talk to it, and the ones that didn't were like this, and the ones that did were like, yay! I let it go and I trust and I enjoy the process, which we'll talk about that in the end. A simple story. This is how fun it can be. So CJ and I were sitting in bed the other morning, and we have a little ritual in the morning. We do gratitude and share thoughts, and we do a little meditation and a little bit of prayer. And for this morning, we were praying for she's reconnecting with a job that she had, and they're having to re-interview and go through the process again, and she hadn't heard from him. And so we just said in the prayer, well, we know that it's your job. We know that it's the right job. And she does so good. I have to brag about CJ for a minute. She's like the best teacher I've ever seen. She's just kind and gracious and good with kids and gets them to read. Even kids that were troubled and couldn't read, she helps them read and do math. I mean, she's a miracle in that arena. So it's a good job. So we said, we see this job. And then not 2 hours later, she came in the room. She goes, I got the interview. It's going to be happening next week. Like boom, 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 boom. I mean, that's the universe working fast. And it was amazing to see that process happen and the joy of going, wow, prayer works. Treatment works. Creativity works on manifesting what we want, right? It was really awesome. So why is this so important? Well, it's important for us to practice this, guys. We have to do it. Why? Because that's the reason we're on this earth. To put our minds to use to creating a world that thrives for everyone. And we start with small things like a parking space, a job, abundance in our lives, a new car. I don't care. Pray for it. You'll get it. It'll happen. You'll be surprised. But then we move into praying for a world that works for everyone, praying for peace, praying for abundance, praying for love, praying for harmony. And when you pray for those things, you really find out what you can do. And we find out why we're here. Because by all accounts of everything I've ever read, the people that cross over and have transferred to the next, whatever it is, say that's what this is, practice. This is earth school. You're in school. Take the lesson. Make it happen. Make some magic. It's so wonderful. So that process that we go through, recognizing, unifying, realizing, like saying what you want, giving thanks, and letting go, right? All important. Buddha said that happiness does not depend on who you are or what you have. It depends solely on what you think. Solely on what you think. Thought, the genesis of everything. Now, one of the other secrets is, how do we do this consistently? Well, the first is we start to use some technology. And don't think you have to do it perfectly. It's not like, well, step one, step two. No, step one, step two. Doesn't matter. It's just that you're doing it with consistency. So when you do that, you're practicing it. You're getting better at it all the time. How do you grow in spiritual principles? You practice, practice, practice all the time. So we try this technology consistently. Next, we also understand that it's not perfect, and nor does it have to be perfect. And everything that comes is actually moving you toward it. I remember that in our company, as Sherry, my business partner, and I were growing, there was a contract we thought we had with a big vendor in Seattle, a big company in Seattle. And we were like, yay, and they started to ask for our plans and what we're going to do, and all of a sudden it like fell apart. And so rather than think that was failure or bad, we trusted the plan. We trusted the seed growing. And what we said was, it's okay, just let it go. And it took a little courage to do that because it was a big one. And 6 months later, they were in a lawsuit and big problems, and we would have been all entangled in that. And all of a sudden, another contract came up that was 3 times as large that we couldn't have taken if we were in the first one. So I want to say to you, trust in spirit, trust in the one, trust in this universal life. It may not always feel right in the moment, but it's always guiding you towards something greater. It's a hero's journey. And guess what? You are the hero in your own story. Take the journey boldly, beautifully. Accept the challenge as a point of growth, not a point of beating you down. They're building you up always. Next, we have an important point in imagine that it's already here. This is really important. You have to see it already here. One of the most powerful things about treatment is I can feel it and see it now. It's happening. It's in motion. And I feel the feelings of it happening now, and that makes it live. Not someday I will, not I hope to get to, where I'm lacking now. I feel it now. And when I feel it now, I do 2 important things. One is I put it into a reality for myself, and in current methodology of making it happen now, the other is I already cultivate that feeling. And guess what that does? That gets you to the goal, full stop already. that means I'm there. If I can feel myself in relationship, if I can feel myself in love and connection, then it all just comes up beautifully. And I already feel that way now. And then I realized I don't even really need that thing to feel that way. I can create that feeling now. And then when it comes, I say, oh, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Come on in. So that's really important, is to manage that feeling of now. Take a deep breath. Imagine you're there now. Whatever you're thinking you're wanting, just imagine it's right there, and imagine how you feel with it right there. Imagine the joy, the ease, the wonder, the beauty. It's in your soul right now. And when you have that feeling, this law, this creative medium, must comply. It's compelled to. That's why they call it the law. It's called the spiritual law. It's definitive. It will give that back to you. So we do this process, and then we let it go, and we enjoy the ride. Because what's the point if we're not having fun? Right? We should be loving this life. It's a gift. The Buddhists call it precious human birth. This is a precious human birth. Let's make it beautiful together. And that's what we're doing right here. And that's why I get so jacked up about these concerts and who we are and youth and family and all that stuff, because that's what we're doing right now. We are creating it in the moment with our thinking and our ability. I want to share another story about this creative process. And that is Vicki and I did the same basic process in imagining this youth and family ministries. We had nothing to begin with. Where do we go? What do we look at? And she and I got together and said, I can see this, I can imagine that, let's reach out here. And we treated and moved our feet, which puts you in the direction that you want to go, right? It sets the stars, it sets your direction, and all of a sudden, volunteers popped up. People started calling. And we looked at each other and we're like, this is pretty magical that it's happening this way. We employed the technology to make it happen. And that's what I want you to do this week, is employ that technology. I'll share one more little personal story, because today is really about the technical aspect of us using this, and it's really about inspiring you to use this. So, as some of you don't know, I had a brain tumor taken out of my skull, and it was devastating for those of you who knew. And I couldn't walk, I couldn't really talk, I couldn't swallow. I had to learn to do all that again. It took me about maybe several months to learn to step up a curb, which was a huge task for me. And I have deafness in my right ear and facial paralysis in my right side, which is a good reminder of humility and love anyway. So I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't change this for anything. It's deepened my compassion and joy. There's a famous phrase that says, your capacity for joy is hollowed out by pain. Think how much joy we can all experience together. But as I was recovering, my son Max is back there, was only 7 at the time. And for kids, this stuff can be pretty traumatic. He saw me one way, and he was going to see me utterly different. And I had lost from the surgery maybe 30 pounds. And I was very, very frail at the time. My face was droopy. I had bandages on my head. I looked kind of like I had been in battle. And I was very unsure at the time in my thinking on if Max would feel okay with me like that, if he would be estranged from me, if he might be pulled away from me. And I said a prayer that there would be love and acceptance and grace and ease. And when he saw me, he would know that I'm still me and he's still him and that we're okay. And I remember the moment that CJ came into my hospital room with Max. And I was sitting kind of in the bed, laying down because I couldn't really walk or get up. And she walked in with him, and Max looked at me. And he looked up at me. First, he was a little surprised to see me that way. And then he looked over and he realized there was a TV in the hospital room. And he said, can we watch a little TV? I said, yeah, I think Star Wars is on. He said, awesome! And he hopped up on the bed, and he snuggled right in with me like nothing had ever happened. And for me to know that that happened because of the love and because of trying to understand the treatment power, the power of prayer, warmed my heart. And all of a sudden, I felt as big as the universe in that moment in that little hospital bed with my son watching Star Wars. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. So I want you to think about yourself and what you know is possible. And I want you to be able to employ this technology and use it every day, relentlessly, beautifully, and watch things come about that will astound you and amaze you. Let's try one right now together, just for our center. So take a deep breath, close your eyes if you feel willing. I'll step us through it, but you think and feel these words as I say them. There is one force in this universe from which all creation came. Call it love. Call it Buddha. Call it God. Call it humanity. Call it anything. Call it stardust. Doesn't matter. And we know we're one with it in every possible way, without any barriers, fluidly and perfectly. And because we're one with it, we can articulate our creative word. So you can imagine for yourself what you want, but I'll say together for us that this center rises in love. It rises in compassion. It rises in helping the world thrive in harmony together from all of our hearts and as a beacon out into our world. And because of that, we are fierce warriors for peace and good and love. And we know that it must come back completely fulfilled, and that's the way it's going to be. Abundance in all of our events, abundance in our ability to reach out. And we simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you for the knowing of this truth and this wisdom. And we release this right into the law, knowing it's already completely fulfilled. And we simply say, so it is. That's what you do. It's that simple and that clear. So, as we go forward, knowing that's what we're going to create, let's do it fearlessly, boldly, and beautifully. And I promise all of our dreams will come true. Thank you and bless you.
Change in the program, we're going to do a song called Everything Must Change.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. Nothing stays the same. The young become the old. Beauty will unfold. That's the way of time. Everything must change. Oh, Oh, change. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds and sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. The winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, never much too soon. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life we can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds and sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds and sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Everything must
I'm looking for the ushers. Come on up.
After that song, we're supposed to walk.
Yeah, I know. So before we do that, I just want to mention if anyone has been thinking about that you might want to go a little deeper into our 5-step affirmative prayer. We are offering a class starting on the 13th of September. So ask me about it or look it up online, and I guarantee you will learn something. I certainly did, about myself. Every time I take any class, I learn more about myself. So please join me in the love offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, What a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are shown on the faces of the people going by. I see friends holding hands, saying, how do you do? What they are saying is, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow, and they would learn more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are shown on the faces of the people going by. I see friends holding hands, saying, how do you do? What they are saying is, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow, and they will learn more than I ever knew. But I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world, oh yes.
I invite you to close your outer eyes one more time. and just speak the word with me. I recognize that that same spirit that is present absolutely everywhere is present within me. It's hard to believe, but it is absolutely true. Because I know that spirit is everywhere, creating, and it is the creator. All we need to do is accept it and say yes. And know for ourselves and for others that the best is coming according to our own thoughts. And so that same spirit that is doing things everywhere in the universe is still ready and willing to do things with us that we choose. And so I know today that this same spirit that is present within our congregation, within every person here, and everyone within the sound of my voice, that same spirit will allow things to change. When change is needed, it will allow things to change, and we say, yes, we are ready for that change. So whether your healing need be physical, mental, spiritual, it is all doable in the mind of God, in the mind of us, because that same spirit works through us to move things in this world. And so I'm so grateful knowing all these truths today. And I release this into the universal law, where I know it is done, and it is so, and so it is. Now one more song, which is my favorite song. I release and I let go. Please stand as you are able. And